Right, I'll make a start. So we're into July, our last 3 weeks, then we'll have a break for a few weeks. So our last session will be the 15th of July, and then the first session back will be the 19th of August. We'll have like about a 4-week break. So just a couple of things to mention today. So that's the first thing. And the other thing is that at the weekend, the art trail starts in Leigh-on-Sea, which I'll be taking part in. As part of the art trail, we're having an outdoor sketching, painting session on Sunday, the 6th of July at 11 o'clock. So everybody's welcome to come along to that if you want to. That'll be in the Old Town. We'll meet up nearby the Crooked Billet, or in that area in Old Leigh. So if anybody fancies
I'm just
coming.
going to sit a bit closer.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
I can hear you better.
Yep. Have a seat.
I won't not just.
Okay, that's right. Yeah, so if anybody fancies joining us on Sunday, that will be a plein air session. The thing that looking at, or we chose for July is summer. So however you want to interpret summer, if you want to go at that. So I'll do a little bit of a sketch in there, so I'm going to do a big drawing. The other thing is, so in relation to the art trail, I will be showing my work at Millie's Deli, and that'll be at 90 Lee Road. That'll be open Tuesday to Sunday, I think. Yep. So they're just closed on the Monday, and I'll be there on the 2 Saturdays. So if you fancy coming along, see me around, I'll be there. So obviously the Millie's will be open quite a while. Brought some of my greetings cards in, so I've been printing these up. I can see for myself now, just buy the cards blank and print my cards. So I've been printing these up for the art trail. I just thought I'd put a few in if anybody wants any cards. Wendy's not here, but quite often Wendy's asking to bring cards in. So there's some of the cards. This little painting here, I'm donating to the Leigh Art Trail auction. So each year we give something to the auction. It helps to run the trail next year. So it goes into, it's like a secret auction. All the proceeds will just go straight to the art trail. They're planning on the trail next year. So in the past, sometimes mine have not sold at all. So if you wanted to get a painting next to nothing, you might be able to get one, but on the really low bid if you wanted. Sometimes they've gone for sort of market value, which is like last year's went for about 200 bucks, something like that, 230. It's a little bit bigger last year's. But yeah, I've just got that framed up over the weekend, so I just thought I'd show you that. Yeah, so that's a little bit about the art trail, and I should do a little bit of a drawing demo. So I was going to use, I was thinking like people and summer and beaches might be a nice thing, for me anyway, for summer. Obviously you could interpret summer in whichever way you wanted. It could be things like, I don't know, you could have summery still life, or it could be gardens, or however you want to interpret summer. I'll move this out of the way a minute, and just use the other side of this. I was thinking people, maybe, so that was a little sketch of somebody at the beach. Turn that around so but the next was asking about figure drawing and using figure models, something like that. What I would suggest with figure drawing is to just get a sense of kind of the general movement and direction. So with this one, actually I'll just turn that back up. I'll start with something, maybe start with a light guideline, either with pencil or a coloured pastel. So in this case, I'm thinking probably the head shape's about there. Sometimes pop in a line for the angle of the head might help. And the torso, I don't know what the torso will do, whether it may be leaning forward or we'll keep it a little bit, just a slight something like that. And then really just kind of drawing a stick man effectively. This one I did this morning was actually quite complicated because there's quite a bit of foreshortening in that. So I thought I'd pick something where somebody's standing. It's a little bit more straightforward. So that could be this part of the arm, and then that part of the forearm, and then the hand. Bring the hand back a little bit. Might do that there. so the waist is about there, and that's roughly where that joint is a little bit that way. I don't know if I've ever tried drawing from one of these before. Quite interesting.
It's very
I
unusual.
feel like I want to dress it up. And then middle of the thigh, front shin there, and the back going backwards, something like that. So yeah, I would start off in that way. Now, proportion-wise, one thing to look at is, like with this one, it was sort of thinking how many heads will go, if that's a head, how many times that goes to the body. It's about 1.5. So that's that little photo there. And you could measure that off, and that is about the right sort of scale. So the same with drawing from a model, or literally a model human. Right from, say, head to neck, you can see how many times that fits in. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's sort of stepping it down. I think 5 and a little bit. 4.5. Yeah. So that fits in 4.5. 1, 2, 3, 4. So maybe it comes a tiny bit lower. So that's about it. So once I've got that, I could then start to refine the shapes. So a nice diamond shape here. There. That looks ball socket joint. Then seeing a little bit of the chest. Around here. So it's basically kind of working my way through the forms, really. So it's a little bit of a curve. But having these sort of direction lines just gives me something to aim at. So I don't feel like I've got to religiously stick to them. But yeah, it'll be. In that respect. And then that's, perhaps draw a little bit more down here now. So it's sort of curving up there from what I'm seeing. We've got a little bit of that socket. Shape a little bit like that. So it was the leg you were having trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I had it face on, so.
Oh right.
Leg
Oh
was
right. So
behind.
more like that. Okay. So more like that.
Yeah.
So that is that's really kind of foreshortened, isn't it?
Well,
So I suppose in that respect, so if I carry on here, you see something a bit like that. And this part is, I'm seeing it as a slight angle, something a little bit like that. And then the foot part is there. So it's a bit like the equivalent of that, really. I can see the front of the leg, but the actual thigh itself, I'm seeing almost like head on. So,
okay.
so I think it's probably that foreshortening, really.
So that's the thigh there.
Yeah, that'd be the thigh there.
Where would the foot go?
So this would be the foot here.
Oh, right. Okay. So
Perhaps
that's,
that's a little bit long. Something like that. That's sort of as I'm seeing it at the moment. It's actually a bit more angled than that. Something like that.
yeah. Oh, and that's the foot. You don't. Oh, right. Oh, sorry.
That's
It's really foreshortened then, isn't it?
Yeah. So it's quite extreme.
Okay.
And sometimes it can be like this bit here. That's really there to there, but doing that. So sometimes foreshortening can be very extreme, and all you see is just like a round sort of shape. So I guess what it is just trying to get, trying to sort of reduce things down to seeing the shapes
Yeah.
of what's actually there.
Okay.
Sometimes you think, you know that this
See,
is
I
quite
kept
long, you
trying to
want to try and
get
make
the
it
bottom
longer.
of the leg, the whole leg in, and I knew it wasn't right.
Yeah,
Because it didn't work. I couldn't make it work.
yeah, because actually the heel bit there is more or less level with the knee. If I looked across like that,
Yeah.
that lines up. So yeah, it's that
And actually
foreshortening.
seeing that, it looks right.
Yeah. And then the other one would be sort of here, somewhere actually coming out a little bit longer because that's closer to us. And in there, and then sort of kind of doing something a little bit like that, sort of striding out that way.
Right. So then that would look as though it's coming forward. that way.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
because this will be quite a lot lower than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll come to there.
Ah, I can see that.
Seeing, so again, this bit, the foot itself is foreshortened here. I'm seeing the shape a little bit more like that. And if that was an actual foot, you might have toes across there or something like that.
Oh, right. Okay. That's,
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's trying to sort of see that as a shape, distinct to that shape.
right. Okay. Thank you. That's really helpful.
Does that help? Yeah, good,
Yeah.
good. Anybody want to, does that make sense?
Yes.
Good. Is that right then for today? Is there anything particular you'd like me to have a look at over the next couple of weeks? Anything you'd like to cover?
How to make summer skies look something other than a kid's painting, bright blue.
Okay, right. Yeah. Summer skies. Yeah. Okay. We could do something like that. I suppose this was that's one I worked on at the weekend.
That's lovely.
Yeah,
It is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So this one, this it was what was this? Grantchester near Cambridge. And I went out to pick up some paintings in Nottingham, so just stopped off for a few hours. And I started this painting a couple of years ago, and I thought, oh, well, I'll take it with me in case I get a chance to stop. And it was so hot, and there's a big queue on the M11, so I thought, no, I'll just get off and do some painting for a few hours. So that's what I did. But this one, I did rework the sky. It was a bit different. I think it's fairly plain blue before, and it was very green here. So I kind of worked details in the buildings. The cows were there from the last time I was painting, so I just kept them there. But yeah, sometimes it is, perhaps colours, looking at the colours, like it was sort of down by the horizon, sometimes you get warmer colours, so it's a little bit pinky, maybe a little bit of yellow in there.
If you could also do sort of like a night sky.
Night sky, yeah.
And the difficult bit to do is the corn or the
That
stripe
was-
in
yeah,
front,
That
and
was a
that's
nightmare.
beautiful.
I found
Yeah.
that really hard. That
Yeah.
in a way, I found that the hardest bit. The
Yeah, it
buildings,
is.
I'm quite comfortable with doing buildings.
Yeah, it's
But that I found really difficult, trying to
That's oils, all oils.
Yeah, it's all oils, yeah. It's more, I think it's dried now. It's a couple of days since I painted it, or worked on it.
Oh, lovely.
Oh, the other thing I was going to mention, like Mick was asking about getting paintings home. So this is why I've got a few of these that I've made. So I paint, most of the paintings are outdoors, so these are like little slot boxes. I don't know if I've shown you that before. So you can slot a wet oil painting. But another way is to have two boards the same shape and so on. I've done the boards. You bring some boards in.
Is that the one that's got bits on the side of it, that one?
No. Well, yeah, basically if you had two boards the same size, say that one, and it's not the same. It's not quite the same. Oh, it's more or less the same. Yeah, so have two boards the same size. Yeah. And then what you can do then is just get some matches like these. And you just get like some pliers or some secateurs and just snip that bit off, so yeah. And then a little bit of PVA glue, something like that. And then if you just put a few, do that in there. If you just kind of put a little bit of glue, I don't usually do it all the way along. So I've used this method when I've not want to take these board carriers because they can be quite heavy, particularly if like you're going on an aeroplane or something. And then you can just stick a line of these around like that. And just put a line of those around just on the edge. And then once you've finished painting, say on this, you know, say I've finished that painting, I could then just put that over there. And okay, it might damage the edges a little bit, but you can always touch those up at home. And just stick it a bit of masking tape all the way around.
Unless it dries.
Sorry?
Unless it dries and you can't get it off again.
Well, it should be right. It's just going to stick to my painting now. I'll take that off because it'll get.
That's
Yeah.
clever.
But yeah, that's a good way. I mean, it's I don't know if you know the artist Ken Howard, who was a Royal Academician. That was the method he had, and a lot of artists do this. They'll just have a couple of spare boards, and it's a lot lighter than carrying my board carrier. Just have like maybe a line, 2 there, perhaps 3 here, another 2 there, a couple there, and then just work to sort of fairly standard sizes. And I've used this method, particularly when I went to Italy and brought work home. I did about a dozen paintings in Italy, and that was a work. And then I just stacked them, have matches on the back of quite a few, and just stack them up, put some masking tape, stick them all together in a little pile. And that's a good way. But really, just for you going home classes, that's as good a way as anyone if you're using lines.
Yeah.
Okay. Stick them in a plastic bag so you don't get paint on the edges once you go onto the bus or the car or whatever. Or your suitcase in my case.
Yeah.